Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Mittens and today I'm going to talk about something that you're probably already very familiar with, especially if you watch my channel. You know what I'm going to talk about today. This is a video dedicated to the shutdown of Nostalrius WoW, the vanilla private server, which was very successful over the last year, which I played on significantly and which gained me a lot of support on this channel and which became the very core of the videos that I was making. I wouldn't say that this video is going to be a piece of game journalism, simply because of the fact that I have a very personal, biased connection to the server. I would consider myself, without meaning to boast, as one of the most prevalent YouTubers who covered Nostalrius. Of course, bigger YouTubers than myself did reviews of the server, but I played it significantly. I would say I put in easily over 150 hours of playtime on the server over the last year. I would say that without a doubt, I invested a huge amount of time and energy and interest into the server. I made around 24, 25 episode videos of me playing Nostalrius, and because of the server, my channel grew exponentially over the last year. That being said, I'm going to try and address this event, what has transpired, with a relatively unbiased perspective. I'm going to try and be civil and respect the rights and terms and the legality that you sign up for as a paying customer of a Blizzard game. That being said, let's get into the meat and potatoes of it. This video is my reaction and my response to the shutdown of Nostalrius WoW. If you watch my channel, then you're doubtless already aware of just how much Nostalrius means to me as a player and as a YouTuber, so therefore you'll understand that I was quite shocked when I learned today about the server's shutdown. It was actually quite a weird way that I learned about it. You see, I haven't been playing Nostalrius for the past few weeks due to the fact that I'm revising for my university degree exams, which are coming up in a couple of weeks' time. Even when I'm not in the mood to play games or when I'm busy with work, I still enjoy following a lot of current games journalism. And one of the YouTubers I follow quite regularly is Boogie2988. I was watching an unrelated video when I saw in the related videos box a video dedicated to the shutdown of Nostalrius. And this was my first exposure to what had actually happened. And it hit me like a bullet. And that might be one of the nerdiest things you've ever heard in your life, but this is a game into which I have poured hours of my time and investment, both in the game, but also as a YouTuber, editing, uploading, and responding to videos that I made for you guys, and a lot of the time with your support. I made videos in Nostalrius since around the second or third week of its inception. And I didn't make those videos initially because I wanted more subscribers or because I knew that it was going to get a lot of views or because of the feedback of the community. I made them in the beginning because I saw a really good product. I saw a fantastic server with a great community, with great staff, with great rules, great policing, and a huge population. And I furthermore saw, and this is the most important part, that Nostalrius was the best option out there for a player like myself dissatisfied with the retail state of World of Warcraft who wanted to play the older game for fun. As we're all aware, Blizzard does not offer the option to play on previous expansion-based servers, legacy servers, or the like. Why they do this I can understand, and I will cover this later in the video, but for now I think it's important that we address that all of us who played on Nostalrius, all of us who played on Phoenix, all of us who play on Kronos, all of us who played on Emerald Dream, we played on these servers because we wanted to play vanilla World of Warcraft, because we cared about the game, because we loved this game. The teams which developed those servers did so initially out of a love for the game and a desire to recreate a stage in World of Warcraft's history which is no longer attainable through Blizzard's servers. Now, I wasn't born in a barn and I wasn't born yesterday. I'm not an idiot, I'm not a fool, and I'm not naive enough to think that some of the teams which made these servers did so without some kind of financial gain in mind. But I do fundamentally believe that the core principle behind the foundation of these servers was that these teams wanted to recreate the game that they loved just as much as the fans did. I think we all agree when I say that there are easier, there are faster, there are more expedient, and there are certainly more hassle-free ways of making money as opposed to creating and running a vanilla WoW private server. And in the case of Nostalrius, we can clearly see that financial gain was not the prime motivation of the team behind the server, as they did not implement systems such as a voting system, a donation system, a pay-to-win system by which you could donate and spend money in order to get tier pieces, mounts, weapons, titles, and the like. It simply did not exist, unlike in other servers which had been allowed by Blizzard to exist for many years, right up until the very end of the expansion that they were trying to provide. And of course, far be it from me to start naming names, I'll not throw tar and feathers this early in the day, but suffice to say that unlike the Nostalrius development team, a team that I believe had rather altruistic and noble goals in mind when setting up their private server, there have been other, more cynical development teams which have certainly made a profit rising from the ashes of the supposed decline of World of Warcraft. But don't get it twisted, I'm not trying to support my bias here when we go on to talk about the morality of these different servers. I'm not trying to paint Nostalrius as Light's Hope Chapel, surrounded by the malodorous stench of all of these cynical, decaying other private servers. But my intention here is not to create an us versus them mentality. This isn't special pleading. I'm just talking from the perspective of somebody who knows the facts, somebody who put in over 100 hours into both Emerald Dream and Warsong Phoenix servers and into Nostalrius itself, somebody who knows the difference between those servers when we come to discuss the action of Blizzard shutting down Nostalrius. But before that, of course, we have to address the idea of private servers as a whole, and how Blizzard should react to them, how they're entitled to react to them, and how they have reacted to them in the past. As for how Blizzard should react to them and how they have reacted to them, well, just look at any of my videos and try and find a comment which talks about the legality of private servers. You'll find that these comments are everywhere, and it's usually because people don't really know how Blizzard would react if they caught you playing on a private server. Some people think you'll be banned, some people think you'll be sued. I mean, some people even think you'll go to jail. The hyperbole goes on and on. I've even heard that Ned Stark was executed because he was caught playing on the Warsong Phoenix server back in 2011, but who am I to comment on affairs of state? All I'll say is fuck you, Blizz, the North remembers. But on a more down-to-earth note, and let me get this out of the way for those people who really hate to hear it, Blizzard owns World of Warcraft. They have all of the rights to World of Warcraft. They have invested millions of dollars into manufacturing, developing, and marketing World of Warcraft. They have the legal authority and the right to shut down any server, regardless of whether it makes money or not, using their product. But, and this is a big but, if you look on YouTube, you will see videos with hundreds of thousands of views reviewing private servers which have been around for years. And these are videos which turn a profit for the YouTubers who created them. And these are private servers which turn a profit for the developers which created them. And these servers have been around for years. And these videos have been around for years. Hell, I'm not hating. I monetize my videos, and even though I haven't collected any checks yet, I certainly have over $100 waiting for me to pick up if I want to, and 90% of that is through World of Warcraft private server videos. And what I'm getting at here is, why haven't those videos been taken down, and why haven't these other servers been taken down? Well, call me a bit cynical, but my answer is simple. As your old pal Cyrus used to say,
"Can you count, suckers?"
Yeah, you can call me a cynical fuck, but in my mind it boils down to simple math. According to Kotaku, at the time of its shutdown, Nostalrius had over 800,000 registered users and over 150,000 active players. And just think about that for a moment. That rivals some of World of Warcraft's biggest servers. Hell, that fucking rivals World of Warcraft's big competitors. Look at WildStar, The Elder Scrolls Online, Guild Wars. How many players do these games have? A couple of 100,000 here, a million there? The point is that Nostalrius was becoming a real thorn in the side of World of Warcraft. Big names were talking about it, people were leaving the game to play it, and this is at a time where World of Warcraft is already in decline. I'm not saying that World of Warcraft is dying out, I'm not one of those idiots who believes that the game will just snuff out of existence for no apparent reason, but what I do believe is that at the end of every expansion, World of Warcraft goes into a period of temporary decline, and Nostalrius definitely capitalised on this feeling of dissatisfaction within the community. But the point is that Nostalrius was a threat. Nostalrius was a big deal, unlike some of the other servers which simply weren't a major factor anymore, which weren't generating a lot of conversation, which weren't detracting players from World of Warcraft. Call me a cynical fuck again if you want, but this is the main reason why I believe that Nostalrius is shut down, whereas other servers, they're still up and running. And I'm not here to moralize, I'm not here to judge. Blizzard can do whatever the fuck they want to do with their product. And of course I'm angry that I won't be able to play Nostalrius anymore, that I invested so much time and energy into making a video series that I really cared about that I won't be able to finish, but that doesn't change the fact that Blizzard had the legal and arguably the moral right to do whatever they wanted to do with their product. Everybody who plays on a private server, or who has thought about playing on a private server, has had the opportunity to look at Blizzard's small print. So in all honesty, is this really so much of a shock? I mean, according to all those comments on my videos talking about is this legal, is this illegal, will I get banned, I would say no. I mean, in my opinion, this has been coming for a long time on one of these servers, and you'd have to be a right indoor bike helmet wearing moron to play on a private server for years and not think that there might be the smallest chance that one day Blizzard might notice that server and decide to shut it down. The fact of the matter is that playing on a private server is a lot like starting a new character in Dark Souls on Iron Man mode, and I don't doubt that you'll have a lot of fun doing it, you'll have a lot of adventures and a great time, but sooner or later you're probably going to run into a bit of trouble, and when that happens, well, you're done, it's over, you're gone. And don't blame anybody, you knew the rules when you started the game, you chose the pug life. But seriously, all of my shitty jokes and crap analogies aside, I guess what I'm trying to say is that it's not really my place to judge Blizzard for what they've done. They had the legal right to do what they did, and despite the personal grief and irritation this has caused me, I don't really see that as enough of a reason to judge Blizzard for what they've done. And of course, we all want to take this view that Blizzard is this big, bad, multinational company making a huge profit with ridiculous £40 level boost transactions and a high subscription fee in a genre where most other games are going free to play, while simultaneously shutting down a private server which was providing entertainment to hundreds of thousands of players for free and providing content that Blizzard were no longer offering to their subscribers. Of course it's possible for us to be arsey about this, for us to be up in arms, let's get the pitchforks and torches ready, we're going to go down to Blizzard's HQ and burn the fucking place to the ground. But think about this, how much of your reaction to what has happened is based on the fact that you have an emotional connection to the game that you've been playing and the server that you are playing on? I'm not going to lie, it doesn't bother me when I say that that's the main reason why I'm angry about this. If we were talking about this server from the perspective of somebody who doesn't play World of Warcraft, or somebody who doesn't care about private servers, not somebody who doesn't like them, but somebody who just is ambivalent and doesn't really mind, you'd probably be saying that Blizzard made a very savvy business decision. As you all know, online games and MMOs in particular are one of the most competitive genres of game out there. You don't want to play loads of them because they're a big time investment. And what Blizzard did was they took out one of their main competitors, one over which they had complete control, and in the end it boils down to that simple fact. Blizzard did what they had the right to do, and whether or not you find that to have been a moral decision or an immoral decision, it simply doesn't matter anymore. The fact is, Nostalrius is gone, and I don't think it'll be coming back anytime soon. And for me, as somebody who put in so much time and energy playing that game, and who has so much to thank that server for, I am very sad to hear that. But it brings me on to the final section of this video. What will the shutdown of Nostalrius mean to Blizzard? What will it mean to private servers? And what will it mean to this channel? And I'm going to address those 3 points in that order, so those of you who don't really give a fuck about my channel can get out while you still can. So, what will the shutdown of Nostalrius mean for Blizzard and World of Warcraft? Some people could argue that it won't mean anything, that like I said, Blizzard just made a savvy business decision that anybody would make in their position. Well, I disagree. You see, like I said earlier, I fundamentally believe that Nostalrius was shut down because it was becoming a serious threat to World of Warcraft. And if that's the case, well, it's certainly the first private server I've ever heard of becoming such a threat to Blizzard. We all know that World of Warcraft is in a process of slow and steady decline, and whilst I think that the game will only end when Blizzard chooses to shut down the servers and people will always want to play it, we cannot argue that since Cataclysm there has been a clear sign that the game has peaked and is beginning on its downward slope as other, more modern games come out and as people move away from the MMO genre entirely. And I think that the rise and fall of Nostalrius clearly demonstrates the change in opinions towards private servers. People are far more eager to have a legacy server to be able to play previous expansion content. And whether this is because they're old players like myself who want to experience nostalgia, or whether it's because they're new players who never got to experience the older game and want to try it out for themselves knowing how much the game has changed, it doesn't really matter. All that it demonstrates is that there is a different view towards private servers in this era and that they've actually become a major threat to Blizzard. One small positive that you could take away from this is that it's certainly generated a lot of conversation about the idea of legacy servers. One thing that I would suggest is that if you're really upset about the shutdown of Nostalrius, search for the petition that's been made, which is advocating that Blizzard start considering the idea of these legacy servers so that people could play them on a legal Blizzard server rather than having to play them on a private server. Although I don't want to get your hopes up for no reason, please bear in mind that Blizzard is under no legal obligation to create these servers just because people from Nostalrius and other servers, and those people who still play the game, want them. And despite the crying voices of those tens of thousands of people, there is still a good chance that Blizzard won't even consider this option, and here's why. Well, think about the money that Blizzard has to invest paying its employees, its developers, to create new content for World of Warcraft, to update the game, to police the game, and to patch it. A lot of the money that they put into the game would simply be a wasted investment if a vast segment of the population decided that it wanted to play primarily on legacy servers. That's just the way it is, and it's the reason why I don't think Blizzard will ever make these legacy servers unless they no longer want to make retail content for the game going forward. So my opinion in the end is that this has really just shown a chink in Blizzard's armour. For the first time they've had to shut down a private server because it's become an actual threat, and if anything all that does show is that World of Warcraft is perhaps in a more vulnerable position than some of us thought that it was. There are going to be a lot of angry voices out there advocating legacy servers or the restoration of Nostalrius, and whilst I'm sure that neither of those things will actually occur, it certainly puts more pressure on Blizzard to acknowledge the fact that people want to play older versions of their game. So with that said, let's talk about the effect that this will have on private servers going forward, and honestly this is the thing that I'm most worried about and what I wanted to discuss in the most detail. My fear with this is that Nostalrius, the biggest and the brightest of the private servers, will set a negative precedent for the others. Why will teams want to invest time, hundreds of hours, sometimes years in many cases, into making a game if they know that they could be sued by Blizzard? Why would they want to do that? That would be a very unwise decision, I would think. And why would players want to invest hundreds of hours of time leveling up characters in a game that they know could be shut down any day, at any time, with no warning, with those characters gone for all time? The truth is the elephant is in the room, and the players and developers alike have to consider whether it's worth investing all that time and effort into a game which really does require that much time and effort, if it could be shut down at any time. Now, maybe nothing will happen. Maybe Kronos and Phoenix and those other servers will continue as normal. Maybe the population bases will stay the same. Maybe those players from Nostalrius will spread out and join other servers, and if that's the case, great, more power to them. Hopefully this will all blow over and Blizzard won't shut down any more servers. That is my dear and sincere hope. But maybe that won't happen. Maybe people like myself will start to question whether it's worth playing on the private server if it could be shut down. And this allows me now to come full circle and talk about the future of my own channel now that Nostalrius is gone. The truth is, I've been making videos on this channel for a long time. And even though I'm completely willing to admit that the main reason why my channel has grown the way that it has and has such a fantastic community is because of Nostalrius, I was making videos for about 3 years before it even came out. This channel will survive the shutdown of Nostalrius, and hopefully a good portion of my viewership will still want to watch the channel. So going forward, what am I going to be doing? Well, honestly, before I found out about the shutdown of Nostalrius, I was planning a series whereby I looked at some of the other MMOs that are out there, WildStar, The Elder Scrolls Online, and the Return of Reckoning Warhammer Online private server. And I was intending to look at these games again in 2016 and shed new light on them and see whether they're worth playing now. And I think that honestly after the shutdown of Nostalrius, that series is more vital than ever because, well, one of my major sources of MMO entertainment has just been removed. I was also thinking about maybe returning to retail World of Warcraft, but at the moment I kind of have a sour taste in the mouth, doubtless like many of you, after what has happened with Nostalrius, and in all honesty, like I said before, the game goes into decline before the release of a new expansion, and the reason why that is because content becomes stale. So if I was to play World of Warcraft, I don't even know what I'd do, and I'm not about to make content if it's going to be boring for you guys. I make my content because I enjoy making YouTube videos and I love playing video games. I like the community that I've got with you guys, so what I will say is this. Rest assured this channel will continue. I will continue to put out content, and my content will be more varied than ever now that I don't have the Nostalrius series to contribute to. Watch the videos that you like and don't watch the videos that you don't like. Hopefully there will be something for everyone, and I implore you, please continue to support the channel. It really does help me. So, thank you guys very much for watching this video. It really has been good to get a lot of these thoughts and feelings off my chest. I hope that you found it informative. There are a lot of other videos out there on YouTube which are just as informative and more so than this one. Those videos can tell you a lot more about the facts of what went down, the events, the blow by blow, and I highly recommend that you watch as many videos on the subject as possible so that you have an educated and well-informed opinion of what went down, not just flavoured by my own biases, which I will admit freely are there. So guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day. Please continue to watch my channel. There will be more videos coming soon. My name has been Mittens. Bye bye.